We are removing the hassle from you of dealing with all the logistics and all the things that happens when you are organizing the delivery. So basically, we are doing all the hard work for you, just for you to become successful and focus on what you do the best.
Welcome to today's episode on the podcast, guys. My name's Sean, and I'm really excited to speak to Mindaugas from Eany today. If you've never heard of Eany before, they're an AI powered B2B wholesale marketplace. I know that sounds like a lot, but they've been going since 2010. And the guy that runs the company is very switched on, very smart, and knows distribution inside out. So I'm really excited to see what this company does in the coming years. So I'd like you to enjoy the episode. Click the link in the bio to order from Eany with our link if you want to take the risk and you want to do that. But I do want to give you fair warning. Amazon is still adjusting to these kinds of companies, so it is not 100% risk-free as an Amazon FBA seller. And Mindaugas will tell you himself in this episode, don't buy from Eany if you're looking to get ungated. Only buy from them if you're an Amazon seller and you already have the brand unlocked. Now, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And again, really big thank you for Mindaugas for taking the time to speak to us today and answer our questions as an Amazon FBA community.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? So I was googling how to pronounce your name before we started. Mindaugas.
Yes, very well. Very well, good pronounced. So,
Okay, amazing. So nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on the podcast today. How are you?
same here. Happy to be here. So really happy to talk with you, and just starting and getting used to speaking on podcast, but happy to try and happy to be here.
There's a bit of an adjustment period. It's a bit weird at first, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to get used to that. So, but since we are in a field and we are targeting quite big communities, so we are receiving more and more invites to different podcasts. So happy to be here. So hopefully it will be good podcast.
Nice, amazing. I was just telling Mindaugas before we started that Seller Smart is in the process of updating our hoodies at the moment, and I really like Eany's merch. It looks really good.
Yeah, we have lots of merch in Eany, so we're trying to keep that in street style. So we don't use any formal clothes here in the office, so that's why we like these type of hoodies.
Nice. So you were going to tell me where does Eany come from? Where's that from?
Okay, so probably about the name. So we are working only in barcodes. So it means that only product identifiers that we are using are barcodes, and
EANs.
barcode is in. So that's where Eany came from. So it's European article number as our product identifier, and we are using these as the only product identifiers everywhere in our accounting, in our orders placement to the suppliers. When we receive orders, we are tracking only in codes, and then we are trying to adjust and map what encode has what title, and all the rest is the story. So that's what we're doing here, and that's why we are called Eany.
I really like that. That's really cool. I'm sure you guys have discovered a lot by now that a lot of the barcodes on Amazon are actually the incorrect ones for the listing, aren't they?
Yeah. So like we are tracking a lot of information on Amazon and on other marketplaces. So we know that on Amazon they're using ASIN as the correct identifier, but there are lots of fake listed products when someone is creating a new ASIN by using the old encode and etc. etc. So there are lots of mess, but we are trying to solve this mess. But in any case, the actual real product identifier is encode. And by encode, by having a right encode, you can identify what product is it, for what market it is suited, what's a chord coming with the encode, and basically all the rest information is need to be matched with the encode by default. So
So, all right, before I jump into my questions, whereabouts are you from?
we are based in Lithuania. It's a small country in, I would say, in Central Europe, near the Poland. For those who don't know, there are still people that don't know where is Lithuania, so I'm happy to explain that. So we are based here, even though we are quite inconvenient place as we are in a Central Europe and we are between the north and the west. So it's the right place to have a warehouse as the logistic hub where we can ship products and do the cross docking when receiving items from one side and shipping to another side. So it
Nice.
creates quite a community.
In my experience, very beautiful women in Lithuania as well.
Yeah, don't complain about that.
So you are the CEO of Eany, correct?
Yes, I am the CEO and the founder,
Nice.
and yeah, it's the interesting story behind that.
Please, yeah, I'm intrigued. Are you a solo founder or do you share it with someone else?
No, I have a co-founder, and the interesting fact is that we are from distribution business, and
Right.
we've been. This is my actually second venture. I've been building a distribution company, particularly electronic distribution business, since 2010. I sold this company in 2021 to some Swedish group, and then I've been working in this Swedish group for several years. But I have quite extensive knowledge in product distribution and how the distribution business work. That's why probably this is the field that I feel confident speaking about,
Mm.
and I know all the tricks how the market is going and where it's going. So the thing is that we've been working as a distributor for of quite many electronics brands for many years, and today, as never before, the market is so fragmented. Basically, the barrier to become a retailer becomes so low. Everyone easily can become the seller and reach millions of customers just by buying items, listing it on Amazon, eBay, Bol, other marketplaces, and competing with the biggest supermarkets. And in Eany, we are empowering that. We are trying to encourage everyone to become the sellers and start selling. So that's
I really like
basically the story in short.
I really like that ethos. We have a similar thing where we try and get as many people into selling online as we can, just because we've had such a good experience with it. And there's just so many gaps in the market, aren't there? Which is why I'm sure you thought you could jump straight into this kind of role.
I've been in distribution business since 2010, basically as a solo founder at that time. And at that moment, our customers were big retailers, big supermarkets, IT integrators, and basically big online stores. And now the market has completely changed. The majority of products are being sold by third-party sellers. You probably know that in Germany, only let's say if we take Germany as a market, 61% of all Amazon sales is being done by third-party sellers. So, so it means that the majority of products is being sold to end users by third-party sellers. So by the merchants that we see that the number of them are growing exponentially every year. So that's the new economy, Uber era of e-commerce, I would say.
Yeah, and I think having a growing competition basis scares a lot of people, but the market is growing as well. The consumer trends are growing as well, so we think it's a hell of an opportunity to capitalize on it.
We are targeting basically 400 billion market only in Europe. So, like, if you are a merchant and you are doing 500,000 euros a year, maybe even less or a little bit more. So you are not competing. You don't have a competitors. All other merchants are your friends, basically, and you can share the knowledge with them because you are not losing anything by sharing your knowledge because the market is such huge. So, like, if you are picking from us an item, you're starting selling them 16 units of this item, 20 units of this item. It's nothing. The market is eating these items like instantly, and no one feels the competition basically. So the in Europe, the market, we are talking here about only about Europe, and the market is enormous basically. So I don't know. So I think that is a great opportunity to be alive and a great opportunity to start selling. So
I'm a big guy about mindset, and I always preach that the market is so ridiculously big. There's no way tiny sellers like you and I, or not you, but Amazon sellers could compete over the whole market because it's just too big. So having a scarcity mindset to me doesn't make any sense. The pie is just too big.
yeah, yeah. So definitely, the pie is very big. And like we are spreading that pie into very small parts, and there is enough pie for everyone. So
So you
for
mentioned that you,
sellers, the market is growing the most. So,
yeah, for sure. You mentioned you sold your first big business. Do you talk publicly about how much you exited that for?
uh, I'm not talking about that publicly, but it was a significant amount.
All right, good for you. Congratulations. Well done. That's why we're in business, eh? And okay, so you said you started Eany with a co-founder. Is that what you said?
Yes, I have a co-founder, Kestutis. He was with me already. He's with me already for many years. He was actually third employee in a company that I sold already.
Mm.
So he's more responsible for operations. I am more like a company architect, visionary, and trying to drive the people inside the organization. Yeah, so like we have our own responsibilities and superpowers.
I love that dynamic because I think you'd agree if you were to partner up with someone in a business, you don't want to partner with someone who has the same skill sets to you. You want to have different skill sets doing different things.
Totally. Totally. So like I've tried already building business on myself and by my own, and it's very sad when you don't have with whom to talk and with whom to discuss what matters. So you need to have a person close to you. It's best if it is a co-founder that you can share your problems, that you can share your issues, that you can discuss problems and growth perspectives together. So I'm happy to have do this with me.
Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, to anyone out there listening to this, you have to really trust who you partner with because it can go wrong. But as long as you find the right kind of person that you can trust and has a different kind of skill set, if our audience is Amazon FBA sellers and all of the people we know who work in groups, they always do really, really well. So yeah, definitely would recommend it.
But so like if you are even a solo founder, if you are a solo entrepreneur, so the most important thing is you can do the business alone, but you need to have someone to talk with. And for this reason, being in a community matters. So in your case, so like if you are building a community of merchants, so it's great that you are bringing them together so they can talk to each other. They can discuss what matters. They can discuss their problems. They can discuss their growth perspectives together. And if they are not afraid to share their problems, their insights, so it's a win-win for everyone. And it's one of the most important thing. If you don't have a partner, you need to have some community member to talk and to share with.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, if you had to summarize what Eany is, like, what is it you're trying to build? What is it you're trying to achieve with Eany?
We are simplifying our objectives and simplifying our value proposition to the customer by saying that we are flagging the ideas and deals, and we are identifying what merchants need to buy. We are advising where they need to sell it, and we are telling how much money they can make by reselling these items. On top of that, we are doing all the consolidation and shipping items consolidated to one destination. So basically, it's on one part is the data. So we collect the data about what sells and how much how many items you can sell and how much money you can make. On the other side, we are doing the logistics service for our merchants. So these are the main values we are creating, and we believe these are the great values for our partners.
Yeah, very cool. How big is your team right now?
We are 35 at the moment.
Very cool. Is that a like how much of a percentage is devs in comparison to people who do distribution?
Yeah, so like we have split the teams. We have the supply team, the demand team, and in the middle is the development dev team. So we
Mhm.
have 10 people now in development team. We have I think that 4 people on the supply side, and we have something around 5 people that are working with the demand side. On top of that, we have marketing, we have customer support, we have operations that are also quite heavy parts in the business. So also shipping, logistics, and we also actually have the cross of facilities. So we touch every single product that is coming to us that we're shipping to our customers.
It's very impressive. Very impressive. Team of 35 as well. How long has Eany been operating for now?
We started in 2024 March, so it's
Congratulations in that case.
yeah, it's the beginning. Yeah, it's the beginning. We managed to reach this goal just because we have investors that we found when we started the business. So they are supporting us and they're encouraging us to grow. So thanks for them.
Very cool. So that was actually one of my questions. Are you VC backed, or is it VC backed, or is it angel investor backed?
No, no, we have VC back already.
Nice. What series are you in right now?
Seed round. So moving forward, so we'll see. What this year gonna bring us.
Very cool. All right. Well, best of luck with that. That's very exciting. I have a friend who he's the CTO of a hydroponics vegetation growth company where you can grow vegetables in cities, and he went down the VC route as well. So I always enjoy watching people who go that route to see how it goes.
It's the smart money is choosing always to become a VC. So
Nice. So you mentioned that you guys touch your hands on all the stock that comes through you. So where does Eany sit on the supply chain side of things?
um, I would say that we are reinventing the distribution business. We are becoming the middleman between excess stockholders and the merchants. On one side, on the supply side, we have brand distributors, even retailers that have their own excess inventory. And on the other side, we have e-commerces and merchants. So what we're able to do, basically, we identified from our own experience that it takes around 9 hours per month to work with one single supplier. So what we believe is that to become a competitive as a retailer, to become a competitive as a merchant, you need to have at least 20 suppliers in your network. So if it takes 9 hours working with one supplier per month, so it's like 20 suppliers. How much is it? It's like 180 hours a month only dealing with different suppliers. So basically, we are reducing this friction. So we are enabling you to deal instantly with more than 300 suppliers in one place where we have a consolidated fees and you see the live inventory basically every single day from more than 300 different suppliers. On top of that, we are removing the hustle from you of dealing with all the logistics and all the tough things that happens when you are organizing the deliveries. We are taking care of that. So we are providing you the feed with multiple suppliers, more than 300 suppliers. You are placing an order. We are collecting these orders from these suppliers. We are bringing them to our cross-dock facility. In our cross-dock facility, we are putting items onto the single delivery and delivering to your place already packed, prepared for selling to end users, shipment with one invoice. So basically, we are doing all the hard work, and basically just for you to become successful and focus on what you do the best, dealing with end users. So this is what we're trying to do, and that's why we believe that this part that we are touching every single product is vital basically, and one of our most important features that we're offering to our customers.
Okay, very cool. So the comparison with Quagita comes to mind because obviously the way you guys operate, based on what you just described, is very different to them. You guys take all of the stock, you take the supplier order, you handle it yourself, and you ship it with the invoice to the end user.
Okay, who's Gugita? So, so actually, yeah. So we are like we are doing this. We are comparing ourselves with them as well. But we don't see here big competition because like they're dealing with other categories. They are
Mhm.
focusing on beauty and healthcare products, while we are focusing on basically electronic household do-it-yourself items and basically all the stuff that you can find in the supermarket. So our inventory is basically very suitable, particularly for merchants. So as well, the main difference is that they are doing the drop shipping from their suppliers to the customers, to merchants, while we are doing the consolidated shipments. So it means that really good case to share here. So like the customer placed five orders on Eany. In few months, the total value of these orders was 28,000 euros. We managed to consolidate these five orders from 8 to 9 different suppliers. So it means that if dealing directly with every single supplier, with every 8 to 9 suppliers, the merchant would have spent in 2 months more than 800 hours just dealing with these suppliers, negotiating terms, trying to buy from them products, managing logistics, booking the invoices, and etc. What we've done that we've consolidated the shipments from 8 to 9 different suppliers. We removed the friction of minimum order value because, like, if going directly into wholesale business, this merchant would have would have the probably
Oh, I've lost your audio.
don't remember actually where we finished, but I was telling the story about the customer that bought in five orders, placed five orders, total value of 28,000 euros. We managed to consolidate these five orders from 8 to 9 different suppliers. So we removed the friction of minimum order value per supplier to the merchant, and we also did all the hard work in consolidating the shipments. So I think that that's a great value that we are creating to the merchants.
Hey guys, I got some feedback from someone in our community the other day saying they love what we're doing, but they're not really sure what we are. So, in the coming weeks, I'm going to release some videos based on who Seller Smart is and what we do. All you need to know is that we are building an ecosystem so that everything you would need in your Amazon lifecycle, you can get directly from us. So, if you're interested in a prep center, hiring a VA, coaching, we have everything you need. You can click the link in our bio, join our free Discord, and schedule a call with us at any time. Now we can get back to the podcast. I'm intrigued by the business model you guys do because I, I would automatically think there's going to be some delay if you're getting the shipment sent to a supplier and then supplier to end user. What's your average delivery time from point of sale?
That varies. So, like, we have approximately 2 weeks in average. Some suppliers are shipping faster, some suppliers are shipping later. But when you are placing an order, you can pick the suppliers based on delivery time. So it means that for every single shipment, we are showing the delivery time. So as a merchant, you can decide on how fast do you need the product, whether you care to have one consolidated shipment with later delivery, or you want to have multiple orders so that we can deliver you the multiple orders based on the faster the better. So it's always up to customers to decide.
Okay, very cool. So, just going to go back to Quick Eater one more time, just because the similarities are there. You would say the biggest thing that differentiates you from Quick Eater is that you consolidate the invoices from multiple, bring it to your own fulfillment distribution center, and then ship it out. And you provide your own invoices. You don't provide the supplier's invoice.
You know, everyone somehow is very concerned that we are not providing a supplier's invoice. But why you are concerned about that? Because, like, the most important thing is that we are. I've been working as Amazon vendor for many years. I've been selling products to Amazon by myself. So, like, when I was building a distribution business, so, like, they don't care. If we provide the invoice of supplier, it's gonna be the same invoice as invoice from Eany.
So the reason why people care is I don't know if you're still selling. We've had multiple reports from people in our community that unless you prove the supply chain, Amazon won't accept the invoices for an authenticity complaint.
That's a good point because, like, you can imagine, like, what we experienced with the merchants, they are buying items from unknown sources. Let's say, as a European merchant, you are buying products in UK somewhere, bringing them to Europe, putting them on Amazon. Then you are providing the invoice from UK seller to Amazon, and Amazon is flagging you because you breached the agreements. You can't import from UK products to Europe and then show it to Amazon because you infringed the brand. No one knows that. And then they are trying to buy the items from us, and these merchants usually are already flagged as unreliable, as they have already breached the terms and European regulations. And then they are trying to engage some new items, some new brands with our invoice, and they're saying, look, your invoice is not going through. We are not engaging brands. So it's not that our invoice is wrong. It's not that our supplier is that Eany as a supplier is wrong. It might be that it's something wrong with, with you as a merchant. So, in many cases, what we experienced when I was working with Amazon by myself, that sometimes it takes more than twice to provide the same invoice to engage the brand. This happens, but in many cases, the reputation of merchant is way more important than the invoice itself.
What do you mean by that?
We are trying to educate our merchants that the sources of your product need to be carefully picked. So you can't import items from Alibaba, put it on Amazon, and then try to engage the brand when you are trying to provide some suspicious invoice from China, whether it's not a suspicious invoice. It's like there is, I don't know if you are familiar with that, but hopefully you know that there is regulation that says that you can't import to European Union any brand outside European Union without the permission of the brand.
Mhm.
So it's called brand infringement. So there is a very clear regulation on that, and that you can't do that. And when you are doing, if someone is doing that, you are as a merchant, you are damaging your reputation on Amazon itself. And it might be that ungating new brands will be way more complicated for you next time if you already breached this regulation and they flagged you as a unreliable merchant. So that's why I am saying that the merchant's reputation in many cases is way more important than invoice itself.
Okay, so I'm putting myself in the shoes of an Amazon seller because that's what I was, or am rather. Our company is based on servicing Amazon sellers. So I would hear what you just said there, and I would get quite nervous about purchasing from Eany, just because they're not going to know if it's going to be okay to sell on Amazon. So I'm intrigued
We,
what your response is.
we are our invoice. We are operating as merchant of record in the invoice. We are the supplier. Our invoice is the same invoice as you would get buying items from any other supplier. We have a direct partnerships with even some brands. We have official sources. We have the playbook of the onboarding the suppliers. We are operating as a merchant of record.
Right.
So it means that we are issuing invoice to the customer on behalf of IN.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So the reason I would only push back a little bit is just because if you're an Amazon seller and you've bought from Eany, you'd like to hope the reputation and the supply chain was legitimate. So if you do get an authenticity complaint from Amazon, you would hope that the invoice would show that it's a valid product that you're buying. You haven't bought fake stock, and you'd be able to prove to Amazon that the product is authentic, and you'd have that violation removed from your account. But what people are concerned about is Amazon are more and more asking for the supply chain so that they can prove that the product is authentic. So if you obfuscate that, a lot of the times the invoice is just going to get rejected, and the seller in a lot of cases can lose their account. They have to go through mediation, which takes a long time. They have to talk to us because we have account recovery as a support team. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is
What I'm trying to say here that we have thousands of customers that don't have this problem,
Mhm.
and we have single ones that are asking, especially the new ones that are asking to provide some kind of invoices of the suppliers. It's not about the supplier. We are the supplier. Eany is a supplier.
So what would you say to UK-based sellers specifically? I don't know how many UK sellers you guys deal with. What's your percentage of UK sellers?
We are growing this market. We are
Okay.
growing in this.
So what would you say? What would you say to the UK sellers out there who've bought from you and potentially are in breach of the infringement of importing from the EU to the UK unknowingly?
From EU to UK. So it's
Yeah.
just you are not infringing brand if you are importing to UK from EU. You are
Okay.
infringing brand if you are importing to EU from UK.
Okay. I see. I see. So it doesn't go the other way.
It doesn't go another way. It's going only from UK to EU. And we know that, let's say, other companies, other B2B marketplaces, they are selling to EU sellers from UK. So it's by default, it's brand infringement.
Right. Yeah, one thing we're always cautious about with our community is we tell them to be very careful of selling from Amazon UK fulfillment center to Amazon EU, just because the compliance in each individual region or marketplace is so different.
You can't do that. You know, maybe within Amazon itself, you can move the items, but like if you are using UK suppliers and selling the items in EU market, it's forbidden by law. You can't
Mm.
do that unless you have brand owner permission. So it means that if you are selling some, I don't know, Hugo Boss perfumes from UK warehouse to EU customers, so you need to get Hugo Boss permission to do that. In our case, these items are illegal to be in the European Union.
Okay, so you think any issues that Amazon sellers are facing with raising a case with support, you would say it's not Eny's responsibility for that. It's more on the responsibility of the Amazon.
And we're trying to help our merchants as much as possible. So, like, we are preparing a playbook what they need to do if their invoice is rejected, if a brand is unable to engage. First of all, always we are encouraging coming to Eany only after you ungated a brand. So and to use Eany as alternative supply. So
Right.
that's the first idea what we are suggesting our merchant because we can't promise that you gonna unlock and gate the brand with Eany invoice, even though the majority of customers are engaging it with in invoice. So like it works. So there might be different issues why you are not able to engage brands with in invoice. And it's not necessarily that in invoice is wrong. We've discussed a lot with Amazon itself what we need to have on the invoice to make this invoice as legitimate as possible. So like so that they can legitimate invoice in any case, but like to have it all the
Be compliant.
compliant with their regulation base. So
Mm.
we have all the data, all the information, and we are able to track every single item that we are selling. Even we are able to provide the serial numbers on everything for every single item that we are shipping to our customers.
Okay, that's reassuring to hear. That's adds a bit of legitimacy to it for sure.
Yes. And this is only because we are touching every single product by ourselves. So we are checking if the items arrived intact, if basically if they arrived the same items that was ordered. So there are the case, and we found this case. At some cases, we found it too late probably, but it was the situations when we figured out that suppliers were putting our barcodes, our in codes on existing in code. So even though it was the big retailer that we was working with, so we instantly removed the supplier from the supply chain, even though it was like brands approved retailer, well known around the Europe. So and this happens, and we are putting our efforts, to have as good as suppliers as possible, and we are removing suppliers that are not performing. We are removing suppliers that are late with deliveries. So we are tracking suppliers' performance every single day, and we are acting accordingly with every single supplier and trying to make the service as good as possible to our customers. As customers are the most important for us, and we want to help to educate these customers.
So, okay, talk me through how you vet your suppliers.
There are multiple things, of course. So we are trying to understand what's the relations with the brands, where the products are coming to the suppliers, how they are. So we have a playbook of suppliers onboarding that is provided on Eany page. It's basically all the. It's no secret here. So like we have a quite strict. Conditions that every supplier need to be met. When we are taking the supplier into the feed, we are doing internal check. We are like trying to understand how competitive prices are. We are going into negotiation regarding prices with supplier. When we know that the prices are good, we are putting him on a supplier on a trial period where we are tracking the supplier performance. If supplier is not performing in line with expectations with delivery time, we are removing the supplier from the supply side. So there are multiple of steps that every supplier need to pass basically to be visible on in.
Okay, very cool. And when I'm placing an order on Eany, are you offering all the standard payment methods, including American Express, credit cards, and everything like
Yeah,
that?
exactly. At the moment, American Express as well. You can pay by any card. and we offering wire transfer. Unfortunately, we are still not offering buy now pay later solution.
Okay.
This is something what we are working on hard to include into the payment system. It's not that easy, but we are working on that on the solution.
I've been having that exact same headache the last couple of months trying to sort that for SellerSmart.
We had this headache. We actually already had a solution. Unfortunately, the company went out of the game that was providing the solution. So the story started from beginning again.
I was I was speaking to Iha about that, about how you guys set up a relationship. You were about to sign the paperwork and get going, and then the company went into administration.
So well,
Part of the game, and that.
yeah, part of the game. So yeah, but and hopefully we'll introduce PayPal as well in our payment system. So as some customers are requesting for that. I don't know. Is that important payment provider?
Yeah, so PayPal is really popular in the UK, just the same way Klarna is in the EU. Klarna is, is really big in Germany. It's not such a big payment processor in the UK. It's more of a buy now, pay later. The PayPal's really big in the UK.
Yeah, so this is something what we are working on. So hopefully we'll have it integrated before March. So yeah, so payment cards, wire transfer, and PayPal will be the options. And hopefully first half of the year we will have buy now pay later solution as well.
Amazing. So I just want to circle back to what we were just discussing, because I don't want to do a disservice to our audience. They are FBA sellers. I want them to be very relaxed when they're ordering. So you mentioned that part of your game plan that you're going to advise merchants to do, which is third party sellers, you're going to advise them to not purchase from you unless they're already ungated in a brand. What support does Eany provide sellers if they go through an authenticity complaint with Amazon and Amazon aren't accepting the invoice?
You know, we are trying to solve the issues. So like we are providing the invoices and we always recommend to provide at least to try providing the same invoice at least twice to get the negative feedback. So in many cases it works. At some cases it doesn't. And actually we don't have the answer why it happens. So there is always it's difficult to say why it happens. So like to be honest, no one has the answer to this question. No one has.
My speculation, so to anyone listening to this podcast who is relatively new into this game, all the experienced sellers are going to know this. Even if you have everything correctly, Amazon just rejects it a lot of the time. And it's unfortunately just one of the annoying parts of the business model that you have to accept and be consistent with. It happens with ungates, it happens with IP violations, with authenticity complaints. So, yeah, as long as you guys have a good relationship with Amazon, I'm assuming you're a verified company through Amazon. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it's just a matter of as these new kind of fulfillment companies develop, Amazon is still getting used to working with suppliers like yourself, like Quick Eater, and there's going to be some teething issues. So I guess if you're a seller out there looking, just maybe play it safe.
It's difficult to comment. This happens. So also like worth mentioning that it's not only Amazon on the market as a marketplace to resell items. So there are multiple other platforms where you can easily resell the same items. I don't know how in UK, but I see more and more sellers going to OnBuy. I see more and more sellers going to Bol.com. I see more and more sellers selling items on Allegro, Kaufland, and etc. So there are multiple ways how you can reach end users. And if you are not getting the possibility to list your items on Amazon, so you can try selling it on eBay, on other marketplaces. So there are multiple ways how you can do that. If you pick the items, most likely these items are at good prices and you already can resell it in other places as well. So don't, it's everything up to the merchant. So like there are many ways to sell these items in any case.
Yeah, we one thing we like to teach people is if you're learning to do five different things at the same time, you're going to spread yourself too thin and you're going to really struggle. So what we recommend is learning Amazon first, doing a bit of eBay alongside it, because you inevitably always have to sell some Amazon stock on eBay. And then once you've mastered those things, check out the other platforms, which a lot of the ones you mentioned are more EU based. In the UK, it's places like Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and Amazon. They're the big ones. But yeah, I do see what you're saying. You guys are doing everything you can on your side, and sometimes it's just a hassle, and that's what we experience in our community all the time, regardless of the supply. I myself had a Lego invoice rejected 10 times before it was accepted in 2023, and it's just always been a problem with selling on the platform, which is why you got to be patient.
Yeah, yeah. So it happens. Of course, the best case scenario is that you already have ungated brand, and you are going to Eany for all the services we're able to provide. But yeah, it's up to you. Many companies are buying on Eany, finding the deals, using these invoices to ungate the brands, and it works. It's difficult to say, why at some point to some customers it doesn't happen.
Mm.
But I mentioned you before, it's also the merchant track record is also very, very important. And yeah, what was your previous reputation on the Amazon is very important to understand. So that your reputation is very important. And if you already have successfully unlocked other brands, most likely that you're gonna unlock new brands as well. But if you had some issues with unlocking previous brands because you had some unledged suppliers in your network, or like you already provided some unledged invoices, then it might be an issue to ungate any other brand. That's for sure.
Yeah, we provide a free resource to our community, which is an auto ungate list of thousands of products. And I think a lot of the newbies who don't know how Amazon works expects all of them to work perfectly, but even that is dependent on their individual seller metrics. So it's dependent on how many sales you have, how long you've had an account for. Once you've unlocked some brands, other brands will auto ungate for you. So it's just part of the game that you have to play.
Yes, definitely.
Do you guys offer bulk discounts, or are you going to implement that at some point?
No, we don't have that option. What we are introducing, we already introduced. It's products with higher minimum order quantities. So there will be like a bulk discounts, but it's gonna be visible instantly on the in code that you are choosing. So it's just gonna be showing that this item is available at this price with just a high minimum order value.
Okay, very cool. And you mentioned earlier that you've been back and forthing with Amazon to make sure that your invoice is compliant. Do you guys have a contact at Amazon now that you can talk to directly? Because that was a big thing
I
for.
myself, I've been working with Amazon as a vendor, and Amazon was buying from me products. I was working more than 7 years. So,
Right.
yeah. So we've been dealing with Amazon. We had uh, ups and downs working with Amazon. So we quite well understand how the Amazon system works. And by myself, I've been in their head office in Bratislava, not one time. So yeah, so I know the company quite well.
Yeah, what's your track record with selling on Amazon yourself? You said you've sold products. Was that private label or was that existing brands?
So we were working as a vendor to Amazon. So it's a different topic probably because it means that Amazon was buying from us and selling it to end users directly. I will just
Right.
turn on the light in the office. So like getting down here. So, so basically we have some records working with them, and at the moment we also have one person in Eany that is putting excess inventory on Amazon itself. So we are working as ourselves, and we have a playground where we sell ourselves items. It's very, very small quantities, and it's only if it is excess inventory. Maybe some customer rejected the order, maybe it was canceled, maybe it was got back to our inventory for some reason. Then we have one person that is focusing on reselling these items. So it's very in low quantities, but we do sell ourselves these items on as Eany on Amazon itself. So we have experience working there.
Okay, very cool. So, one question I also wanted to ask you was, Quick Eater was offering people money off their first order, and I noticed Eany hasn't offered that. Is that something you plan to implement, or is that something you've avoided deliberately?
We are providing basically all the insights, and basically we are encouraging merchants to join Eany and to check for hot deals that we are posting and listing every day, every hour. They're changing. So basically, we are already identifying what items you need to buy and resell to make the money, basically. So no, we don't. We are not offering the discounts for newcomers. Unfortunately, for now. Maybe we'll introduce this later. But you are always invited to check what's available, and I'm sure that you're gonna find some good deals to resell and start it instantly.
I noticed your hot deals section, which is pretty much the first place I looked, actually, is decent.
Yeah, so like we're happy with it. So that's basically that's what I'm saying, that we are not only the wholesale marketplace where you can find everything. We are particularly identifying what you need to buy, where you need to sell it, and how much money you can make on top of that. So that's the most exciting part.
Do you guys have any plans? So I'll give you an example. Some brands that will sell on third-party marketplaces or on wholesalers, they will have they'll have a specific list of sellers who are allowed to sell their brand on Amazon. Do you have any identification for that? So if I was looking at Hugo Boss on your platform, whatever it might be, but Hugo Boss has a limited amount of sellers that are allowed to sell in Amazon UK. Is there any way you guys can identify the merchants beforehand before they buy so they know that? Or is that just too hard to tell?
Basically, you as a merchant should know if you're allowed to sell this brand or not.
Yeah, so when you apply to ungate a brand, it doesn't specify if it's close to certain sellers. So it might say you need 100 units to ungate this brand. So a merchant who sees that thinks, hey, if I buy 100 from Eany or from wherever, I can get ungated. But then it turns out that the brand has a set list of sellers who are allowed to sell on the platform, and they only let more sellers on with a letter of authorization. So I'm wondering if there's a way that companies like yourself, like Quicketa and other people, can identify those brands beforehand so people don't accidentally buy brands they're not allowed to sell.
Okay, so my advice, the only advice I can provide in this case, is like never try selling top-notch brands.
Mm.
We never gonna sell Apple phone, and if even you buy an Apple phone, you're not gonna be able to resell it on Amazon. That's for sure. Yes.
Mm.
So think about the brand as the institution that is protecting their basically their customer experience, and think globally what brands are protecting their brands globally. So I'm more 100% sure that Hugo Boss is protecting their identity very carefully. I am more than sure that not only Apple is protecting the identity, but all the biggest brands in the world are protecting the identity. But on the other hand, if you are going to Eany, there are, like, in a hot deal section, lots of B brands, we call them, that are between A and B brand, that are still very well known, but it's easy to engage them because they are not protecting that much their identity. They're not protecting that much their own brand. And that's where opportunity comes to the merchant. So don't try chasing the highest brands, because the highest competition is as well at the biggest brands. So it's way better to focus on the average brands that has average BCR, so you can sell these items in big volumes. You can still make a lot of money by reselling them, but you don't need to chase the top-notch brands. Never ever.
Interesting, interesting. I like your perspective on it. It's very different to us because we're resellers and we primarily buy from major retailers. So a lot of the products I sell or Sam sells or the rest of the team sells are big brands. So it's interesting to see the perspective difference.
But like we are not encouraging to sell private labels. The
Mm.
sales is different business. So
Yeah,
we are still
completely.
encouraging to focus like on A B brands, on big brands, to use the
Existing ones.
find the arbitrage opportunities, to focus on already created listings, and to try to win the listing. Except that if you open Eany, you very rarely you're gonna find top performing products that are top notch brands.
Mm. Okay, interesting. Out of interest, how often do you change your catalog? Is that something you guys update daily, weekly, monthly?
It's live, so like it's changing every day, multiple times. So like that depends on the supplier, how often supplier is updating the inventory. So once supplier is updating their inventory, we updating our feed instantly as well. So it's constantly changing, and we constantly looking for new suppliers. So it's our feed is progressing every single day. Just as I mentioned in the beginning, sometimes we add new suppliers, sometimes we reduce unperforming suppliers. So it's on the both sides there are the changes.
Interesting. How you guys? You said you're trying to expand your UK customer base. How are you finding things with the complexities of Brexit, making commerce between the EU and the UK is so much more complicated? How are you finding that?
Export is easy, so like it's except it's a bit longer than we would like it to be. So, but it's manageable. And probably our merchants in UK, they already understand that delivery time to UK might be a bit longer. But yeah, there are lots of sellers in UK. It's a huge market. We are way more advanced than most of the countries in this resellers economy, I would say. So we are just starting to look into this market as our potential growth market. So there are lots of opportunities here we see. We need just to figure out, since we have lots of electronics in our assortment, so we are encouraging merchants to clearly understand if the in code that they are trying to buy has the UK code. So in code is if they are buying electronics, or at least we encourage them to avoid buying electronics if they are not sure if this in code is UK plug or EU plug. So that's the main issue that we are carrying, because we are not providing that information on the product specifications. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, that every encode shows instantly by the encode whether it's European product or it's UK product. So merchant need to check it by himself what kind of product he can expect with particular encode. So
So on your website, how when you say it's on the encode, what would that look like if I wanted to buy something and I had to confirm it was a UK version? What would I need to look for?
so you need to check within UK whether it's the same encode that in UK is being sold.
And when you say encode, do you mean EAN code, right?
EAN code, yes. So
Okay.
it's as you probably know that one ASIN might have different encodes, AAN codes. So there are multiple EAN codes for one ASIN number. So that's where mismatch might come from. So you need to deep dive particularly into the encode if this is the right encode for you to resell, or
Okay,
avoid
interesting.
items, or you need to avoid the items that has the code.
Maybe that's a bit of functionality your devs could add. You could add like a little flag tag on the barcode just so it's easy for viewers to see.
Yes, we are thinking about doing it, so that's for sure. So
Nice. Okay, Mindaugas, it was a pleasure talking with you. I really appreciate your time today. I'm very excited to watch new companies like yours grow and see what happens with them. So I really appreciate your time today.
happy to be here. So thanks for inviting, and yeah, so hopefully this the information provided here gonna be useful for the merchants and for your community.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And guys, to anyone watching this, we're going to have a referral code. Well, we're going to have a link down below for Eany if you did want to sign up. Just remember what Mindaugas said. Don't buy any products unless you're already ungated in them. Thank you very much for watching. And Mindaugas, thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Bye.